The SkyJacker Black Max HD OEM replacement steering stabilizer is for those of you that have a 1987 to 2006 Wrangler that need to replace your steering stabilizer. And you need to replace your steering stabilizer if yours is bent, leaking, or otherwise broken. If you're just installing a lift and some bigger tires on your Jeep, it is not necessary to upgrade or replace your steering stabilizer. Certainly not necessary to put on any kind of dual steering stabilizer or spend $400 on a steering stabilizer. As far as construction goes, this is a very simple item, as it should be. This is just a 50-50 valve shock, as I mentioned before. It's going to come with all the hardware that you need to get it mounted onto your Jeep, and it also comes with this shock boot. Now, there's always a debate about shock boots, whether you should or shouldn't run them. Some people think that running one will help keep junk off of the piston, which will help to keep the seals in good shape for longer. Other people think that if you run one of these, it just traps all that junk inside up against the seals, causing failure prematurely. It's really up to you whether or not you run the shock boot, but this setup does come with one in case you choose to. It's very important to know what a steering stabilizer, or more accurately, steering dampener, does and what it doesn't do. This is there to help suck up some of the shock that you might feel when you hit a bump on the highway with big tires on your Jeep that would otherwise be transferred through the steering linkage and up into the steering wheel. This is not there to eliminate any sort of wobble, certainly not death wobble, and definitely not bump steer. If you have any of those issues and you just put a new steering stabilizer on, it may cover up that issue for a short period of time, but you're just going to end up blowing out your brand new steering stabilizer and still having the same issue. If you have one of those problems, there are ways to diagnose it and fix it, and a steering stabilizer is not one of them. But if you do have a bent, broken, or leaking steering stabilizer and you want to replace it, I think that this is exactly the type of steering stabilizer you should be buying. This is, like all steering stabilizers should be, a 50-50 valve hydraulic shock. Very, very simple, well built, and very fairly priced. Again, the $400, $450 versions of these steering stabilizers are very nice, they're very pretty, they're adjustable, but for what 99.9% of us do with our Jeeps, they're not necessary, and this, or something like this, is going to be the best option for a replacement. As for installation, definitely a 1 out of 3 wrench install, probably less than an hour to get this installed. The only thing that can slow you down is some rust on the factory hardware holding that factory stabilizer into place. Hit it with some PB Blaster well before you get started, and that'll speed things along. You want to break loose that factory stabilizer, remove it from the Jeep, and bolt this one directly in place of that factory stabilizer. That's all there is to it. As far as the price goes, this comes in at $55, which is exactly where I think a steering stabilizer should be priced. Now, whether you go with this one from SkyJacker or one from many other brands, I would look for something that's as simple as this one is and as fairly priced as this one is. I think that this is a really good example. It's a really nice option. It's a very complete kit, all at a fair price. So if you're looking to replace a bent, broken, or leaking steering stabilizer on your YJ or TJ, I definitely recommend taking a look at this one from SkyJacker, and you can find it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.